Here we go again. So how's your day been so far?
It's alright. Played Scorpion this on our last round and lost because we managed to hit all 3 blocks of fall lines and all 3 in circle.
How are we doing, gentlemen? Doing good?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, pretty good. You guys lined up almost perfectly. No problem. You've both been on stream before, right? Few reminders. This microphone's live. It picks up your voice extremely clearly. So don't say anything you don't want people to hear. The only other thing is, while just like they can hear everything, we can hear everything you say. So if you gain honor or lose honor, and you state the amount that you ended at after the action, that would be helpful to us keep track. So, for example, I gain 3 and go to 10. That'd be perfect. I'll mark that down. Players know. Everything goes great.
Sounds good.
Any senseis from either of you?
Yes.
Not over here.
Yes, you can sensei. And a unicorn player. Alright, so good luck and have fun.
Yeah, I played Crab first round and I beat him, and then I played Lion, like Swarmy last round.
So it looks like the player on the left, I recognize the voice and saw him earlier. It looks like...
and dropped in circle, and he DT'd in battle and top decked the terrain.
one of the Team Manatee players from South Florida would be Christopher Martin on the left. Chris, obviously, as most people know, loves his Yusuke, so he enjoys playing Dishonor, and that is exactly what he's playing this round. I'm almost certain that with Super Sensei.
I wanted you to play.
He won a Kotai earlier this year with this deck. And then Steve Colombo has won the Bride of the Emperor tournament with the same style build.
Well, if you need to grab any cards, feel free.
A couple weeks ago in Kansas City.
Should be fine until you start playing stuff with Thunderous.
Yeah, right.
But my deck didn't really change.
And Jacob Hampton on the right, he is a resident Oxford player.
I need Sung-Min.
One that was groomed by Donnie, obviously before Donnie picked up and left the States. Sadly, he now lives in Australia. Jacob has, his play has been gaining quite a bit of ground in the last several years under Donnie's tutelage. And
I was surprised that they had one.
And obviously, devout unicorn player.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Jacob's a good guy too.
Somebody left their phone over here.
It's not good.
So we're 3 for 3 for seeing unicorn on stream so far. Like I said last night with Simon in the booth, I said that unicorn was going to be a popular deck choice today. They have a lot of strengths.
Yeah, we have tons.
I said Crab Dishonor was probably going to be the most represented Dishonor deck in the format. This is probably what this is happening here.
I need that I don't have. I just can't pull personality.
Interesting, we've seen 2 Dragon decks on stream. They haven't been as popular.
275 packs at 20 festivals just through events and stuff. I've pulled 1 Kazooie. I just traded for the rest. No, I traded for 1 and then won 1 in the rare set. So that's what it was just like, okay.
Attention Alpha Bar players in the main event and the draft storyline. If you do not have an opponent, please raise your hand now.
So 10's the magic number for now.
Yeah, right.
You may begin.
But sir, come to your cabbage.
And here we go for round 3.
Okay, it's better than last game.
He got 1 holding
last game I had to dig out, I forgot.
He's going to cycle down 3. And he's going to flip 3 holding. So he has a total of 4. That's a pretty good start.
Looks like you got a famous Bazaar, Forgotten Legacy, Temple of Destiny, and Temple of the Heavenly Crab.
Right. So interesting to see if he has a second Forgotten Legacy in his deck or not. If he has a second one, I think I would get the other one out of my deck and buy the Temple of Destiny. But he opted to go ahead and just purchase one out of the province.
Yep.
He's definitely going to need a lot of holdings in this matchup because Chris can obviously control that matchup with the Crab Yusuke Dishonor. So Chris flips a small-time bully and a Durian Cascade in.
Pass open.
Both of those are pretty important to his deck. The Cascade in more important.
Why is the holdings?
He purchased the small-time bully, the Counting House, and the Brilliant Cascade in.
Any others?
Yeah, that +1 gold production on Sujiken Sensei is really important. It allows you to, it's ridiculous.
Right. It's kind of odd to see a crab player having 5 gold in his first turn and a unicorn player having 4, but that's just the way it's set up currently.
Yeah, I mean, Unicorn is going to get back to 5 on this turn, but yeah, Sujikin was very, very powerful sensei. Finally took time for that strategy to grasp hold.
Down to 3.
And here comes
8.
Chris pinging down. So Jacob's down to 3. Off the suit after having to buy the holding for Sujikin's. Now, looks like Jacob's got some nice pieces against Dishonor in this deck. Some of the big ones here are going to be very
Attention
important.
Doomtown players, you have 30 minutes left to sign up for the Marshall event. 30 minutes left.
Chris flipped
My deck did not want me to
an
do
event
gold.
there. I'm not sure exactly what it is. He took it off the camera immediately. I guess I can look at his deck list and find out.
I will pass.
It's either the Samurai Cast Divides or Coronation Festival. I can't really see. He took it off the camera.
If it was Simmercast Divides, he would have probably put it in the discard pile. If it was Coronation Festival, it would probably still be in play somewhere where it's visible. Although it looks like it's sitting just to the left of the Manatee emblem. There's probably Coronation Festival. That's going to be very important. That was a new card that was printed in Thunderous Acclaim. It gives you extra dynasty flips if you have fewer provinces than your opponent. He's playing a straight Dishonor deck, so...
More than likely, he's going to have less provinces.
Exactly. And being able to power through your dynasty deck here is very important, especially against a Unicorn deck that's going to be bringing big, powerful units. Jacob's going to hope to see his meta in this matchup.
Investing on the small-time bully. It's destined, so I'll draw a card and turn draw a card.
Unfortunately, Chris didn't see any holdings his second turn. He buys Ayatako and targets a small-time bully with the invest action to make it, start it again. Obviously, he wants to hit that on a symbol of Hampton Crab, but unfortunately, he doesn't have it on play right now.
Yep.
Seems fair.
So Chris Sujukin Sensei and targets the secluded outpost to try to get Jacob to start losing honor. But I expect him to proclaim here and go up a little higher this turn. Try to keep up. So buys Bazaar and flips another personality.
He flips up Moto Yasu. It looks like he also has Moto Taigo in province and a stables, as well as the Temple of Heavenly Crab from turn 1.
There's 1.
Yep. Down to 2.
Yeah, about to get right back up to 4 though.
Up to 4.
Get Yasu.
So he proclaims Yasu.
You don't want to do that. Just don't use it.
Destin. Yep.
Drops Utaku's Utaku Destiny, which is the 4 gold destined weapon from Ivory Edition. Plus 2 force, plus 1 chi. It's just a blank weapon, but gets to draw him a card, and it's free off the secluded outpost, which is really good for him.
I think it's just going to be another one of those.
All right.
Actually, I'm going to be picky with the foil one out.
Totally understand.
So that the people at home can't read it.
I know, I'm always like, it's too tiny. You're good?
Yep. There's the Samurai Cast devised, and House of Disgrace. House of Disgrace is very important to Chris's strategy, even when he can't get somebody dishonored, since it allows you to drop somebody's personal honor so that he can use his cards to
just for the keyword.
still be able to cause honor losses. The Samurai Cast divides. What Chris is using here is he's using it to get a copy of Progressive. Progressive allows him to bow put the card into play as an open action, and then he can, as a battle action, absent battle action, bow the card and discard a number of discard fate cards with total focus value less than the attacking unit, less than the unit, to send the unit home. This allows him to interact against the Unicorn deck when he normally can't defend.
I'm not going to waste the gold just to save 3 on it.
Lose one. Down to 3.
Yeah, the big difference between that and flattery was flattery could send the whole army home rather than just one unit. So there's the big difference there. And but yeah, it's still very powerful effect in this format.
I will lose 3. I will go to 0.
So Jacob has suited up some more things. He's already got a weapon, so that has got to be an armor. Because it doesn't look like a Legion of the Con. Doesn't look like a follower at all.
I forgot mine.
I gotta deal with the crab favor though.
I don't care. I like the crab.
Looks like he dropped an Airnized armor. Airnized armor is a very important meta card in this matchup. When his personalities get dishonored, he can re-honor the personalities being attached to, and then he can also re-honor another personality.
In the House of Disgrace.
I think the only thing I can think of here is
what was that?
Do you have anything on the board that kicks off and gives me minus 2?
Her action is target someone with personal honor different than printed. If I bow her, you have to pay gold equal to the difference plus 1. If not, lose the difference. So it would be pay 3 or lose 2.
Okay, I'll pass.
Pay 3 or lose 2? Yeah, pay that gold. I need to get paid.
I'll pass.
Passing with a bowed dude, huh?
I'm wondering why Jacob bowed Yatsu to take the favor.
Solo man, I'll lose 1. Leg 1.
I'll pass.
I will pass as well.
You go through, and what'd you hit with that? The outpost again?
Yeah, the outpost.
Gonna lose 1?
1.
And then proclaim for 2?
Up to 3.
And react with the secluded outpost again. Not paying anything extra. Very nice. And then I'll tempo for stables. Use the rest and pick out another card.
I'm going to start straightening if that's alright.
No problem.
Now I get all the gold. And you have how much gold available?
I have 6 available.
Mercantile conflict.
Okay. Spirit and Dispute. Bringing back those 2.
Both of them. Did I already give him -2? I don't think so. -2 personal honor.
Get rid of her ability.
No!
And then hit your bank card and those 2 cards. Invested.
Yep. Lose 2. Put a 1.
Okay.
Dynasty.
Okay.
Lose 2.
Negative 1.
I will use the extra gold on it and lose 1.
Okay.
I will go to -2. You are at -1.
Legion of the Con.
Seems like a wise choice. I'll just keep forgetting to unbound
So
my
Jacob
sensei.
here is trying to
I'm so
load up
bad at
a
it. Secluded
Yatsu
again.
for a humongous unit.
Next one.
Yeah, boy.
And Moto Taigo has got an Arnai's armor and an ensorced longsword on it.
Gold available.
So
9 gold available.
he's looking to try to take multiple provinces.
None in the pool.
No. Use it all.
Battle armor pay for.
And now Chris is using the Soul of Man. Another card that sort of pushes their agenda of paying gold for to control you. Very important in a matchup against most decks, even ones like Unicorn, especially because they have a lot of high gold cost personalities, high gold cost attachments.
Take away cavalry. Remove. And the VTV. Not drawing a card. Reaction.
I'll pass.
Take away Tactician. Remove the stables.
Pass.
I'll pass.
And then I guess I'm sending to build them right here.
Oh no! Horde of Us!
Press engage.
Crash engage.
Pass engage.
Desperate sacrifice. Send them home. Bound. Can't be negated.
So Chris played a Desperate Sacrifice. That was a promotional card from Samurai Edition, reprinted as a rare in 20 festivals. You get to blow up your courier,
the attack
you
that was
bow a target
coming.
enemy personality, move him home, and the movement will not be negated.
I'll go through, lose one, get him.
Now,
proclaim
obviously,
for 2, so
doesn't look like Taigo was big enough to take the province by himself.
Why you gotta do that to me, Jacob?
and
The Shogun just bounced, but he has Conqueror, so not really that it matters in this matchup, but
that looks decent against you.
Good.
Yeah. Actually, I don't think I actually do for end of turn, so I'm gonna have to owe you another card.
Sharp. Double standing fast. Alright. Some decent people. I like it.
so we see the reappearance of Shuzaka. You see an
These guys really want to do something.
yeah, Demia. I can't ever think of her last name.
You have 2 Arnais in play.
2 what?
Arnais armor.
Yeah, 2 Arnai's on in play right now.
No gold available.
Correct. Technically these 4.
That's why I asked.
And there's one in, and there's also one in his province.
I can't forget to do a trade. No matter how hard I try.
Words on conflict.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm putting in there.
Yeah, that was not
for
removed
game.
yet.
Your action.
I'll pass.
There's 2. Down to -2.
Alright, I'll pass.
I'll pass. Shirei. Shizuka. Lose 2. And let's dishonor Taigo.
fair.
Down to -4, correct?
Correct.
So Chris already has 2/3 of Jacob's personalities dishonored. He's got Taigo dishonored. I'm sorry, he just has Taigo dishonored. But he now has a Shizaka.
If he does anything, I will pass.
Sensei hits the outpost again.
I will pass.
Pay 4 or pay 3 or lose 2, targeting Taigo.
2 and 1. Pass.
Again.
So Chris is making Jacob pay the extortion fee,
That's the character.
as he will.
You discard the top card of your fate deck. If it's equal or higher than his personal honor, you dishonor him and I draw a card.
Pass.
Now Taigo will pay 4. Yeah. Reaction.
Pass.
Stolen and I'll lose 1.
And Chris with a second
Down to
copy of
3.
Solo Man.
I'll pass.
Pay 4 about Taigo.
That one hit.
Yeah.
Pass.
Cards in hand, still 8.
Yeah.
So many cards. Notice Sensei. That's the Kayu's not cavalry, correct?
I know he is.
He is.
Yeah.
So many horses.
Wakano is the only dude in my deck who's looking at.
Gotcha. Do a pass.
Is it +1 or just equal to personal?
Equal to personal, so you lose 2, so you get a -6.
Him over here, and him right here.
Oh snap, he's getting ballsy.
So he is shoving Yatsu in front, even though he was going to get dishonored and lose 2 for that.
No defense.
But Yatsu is a humongous unit.
Pass it.
This one?
No. Pass.
See if my trick C works.
Pass.
This one next.
Yep.
Have engage in.
No.
Yes. So Jacob looks like he used a
We'll have to
fallback on his smaller unit to straighten Taigo, and then used Taigo's the cav action to move him into another province. That was a huge swing for Jacob there.
Outpost. So I will lose 1.
That was a very good play. Chris really didn't have the bodies to defend with anyway.
So
He had everybody
two positive.
down his dilemma. And so Jacob with an awakened Naginata.
Card in a turn.
3/2 destined weapon for 7 on Loto's Psychico basic.
And I'm going to kick Jack.
First action coordination.
Who's a 3/3 for 8 gold destined, which is really good. Reserve.
I will pass.
Pretty well just blank, but having 3 personal honor is not very good considering what he's playing against. But
I will pass.
he wanted more bodies to rush the board. I'm surprised they didn't go with Yatsu unless he just didn't have the gold for
Lose
it,
2.
which is possible considering all the actions that Chris is taking as far as bleeding his gold dry.
How much gold available?
4.
Pay 3 or lose 2. You don't have the gold, so just lose 2. Make 10.
I'll pass. Bother you guys about watching game with you?
No, you're fine. Lose 1.
11?
Chris is rushing that honor loss as fast as possible, right? right now. He's going to get him down there. In all honesty, he needs to get him a negative 20 before the end of next turn.
Yeah, absolutely. Jacob's bodies are getting bigger and bigger and more out of control, so he's going to really need. He's down to 2 provinces, so he's really going to. He's really having to dig for more fate cards to try to get him out of this.
If you just saw Chris flick the card when he drew it, which is an obvious tell that it's something that he wanted. And I think what I thought it was an encircle terrain.
One in the pool.
So he's
Playing
hoping
for one
to
as well.
fit something
Put him
next
in
turn,
2.
or maybe that's his last ditch effort to try to save the game for the final battle.
Usually Encircled is a very good card against most of the Swarm decks. It's not as good against the decks that go big because some of their units are so big it really doesn't matter.
Do you have a die or something I can use?
I would think that he would want what he's trying to set up for is trying to force Jacob to take just 1 province next turn and see if he could set up a hand of multiple growing rifts. If he's running them in his list, a growing rift would really be try to keep him out of
the Ivory Courtroom. No.
And Jacob's got a fortunate flip with the Ivory Courtroom.
It is.
Which you can bring into play as an open action for 2 gold, and you get to take the Imperial Favorite and bring on one of your personalities, another big meta card in this matchup.
Left to sign up for the Marshall event. If you are pre-qualified, please come to the front desk to my stage right.
Favorite cycling?
Secluded.
BTD, Shizuka, and I know you got a Merchantile conflict, I don't know what else.
Yeah, that's the BTD there is really going to hurt.
In case you're running that
because he's already
reason and that.
You don't want to kick out. Oh, you already kicked out Samurai Cat.
And that's the second one, so
jeez, I didn't Shizuka. I'm so bad.
Yeah, Chris said he's so bad there.
Attraction?
He definitely should have Shizuka right after he re-honored Taigo to hit him again, but he just missed that and didn't do it. That really is going to hurt him.
I will not take the additional action.
Ballsy move.
Everybody has weapons.
Jacob flapping, then all these person has weapons. He can't attach another one on
Like
anybody.
12.
Yeah, that tends to be a problem. I mean, he is running 3, 6, 9 weapons. He also has
We still have
3 followers, which we haven't seen, and also the Unicorn clan armor, which is also very powerful in this matchup. You don't want to be sent home.
He's got 1 follower out there. Is that the Legion of the Khan?
It's the only follower he has, yes, sir. So yeah, it's Legion of the Khan. Jacob still can't make a really
-2 personal honor.
he can't really make a mistake in this position, so he has to make sure that he can take both of the provinces. I don't know if he really wants to split at this point.
One in the pool. Let's say that.
But Chris may try to force the issue.
Same battlefield booster.
And there's a growing rift.
14?
Yeah, he would have definitely loved to have had the Mercantile conflict with that right there.
These 2 can assign to the same battlefield. Lose 2. Make 16. Pass. I have a ton of gold. My sensei, I'll pass.
So he's got a few Dishonor cards in his deck. I know he's got ramifications.
1 at each.
For battles.
So Dishonor people stay at home.
Relocating the board.
But I will put a marker on his personal honor.
I think that's it that he can do during a fight.
Let's do that there. Let's do.
I'm sure he would have loved to have one of his civil discussions, but he didn't have them.
Yep.
He does have 3 cards in his hand. One is an encircled terrain.
I'll defend there.
Tiger?
Yeah.
Also, Jacob has quite a bit of movement cards in his deck. He's running accessible terrain. He's running sudden movement. He's running Way of the Unicorn. He has anti-movement and brazen disregard and ancestral armor of the Unicorn Experienced. All of those are going to be particularly useful against the Syntome movement. That
engage. I'm so bad at this game. Pass.
Conquer.
Yeah, Dave just moves out of the way there with Calvary and takes the province. Take a maybe over game.
There he
Also
goes.
resolves the other battle.
3 cards in hand.
Correct.
Alright, your first action.
Pass action.
Lose 1, but proclaim for 2. Or proclaim for 3, so positive 2. Make 14. React at the outpost. So I have floating.
couldn't tell if that was a longsword or.
No, this is at that battle.
Oh, it's at the battle. I'm sorry.
Fine.
Jeez. I forgot reserve.
Yeah. Chris is in a bad spot here because Jacob reserved and Sakaka, who has reserve, and he used secluded so that he could attach an item to her as well. And here comes the accessible. Okay. Let's see what else Jacob has here. If he has a second accessible, Chris is in real trouble. I think he's still in real trouble.
Yeah, but he's only got one card in his hand, and Jacob has a fistful.
Coming with the box.
Uses the box ability.
Ramifications. Move on, lose 2.
Is that your last card in here?
It was.
Oh.
When did you get here?
Like Wednesday night?
Wednesday night.
And since I slept about 9 hours.
I was gonna say I have probably slept about 3 hours since we got here.
I'm woken up at 6:30 to 6:45 every morning, regardless of when I go to bed.
Jeez.
My body's just too used to my work schedule.
Yeah. That's rough. We were on our way here. It took us 28 hours to get here.
Yeah, I saw the trouble with the tire.
And then we got here and they messed up our hotel rooms and we only had 2 beds for 7 people.
That's enough right now.
Yeah, that's good.
You got to see the real power of the Unicorn deck. They have a lot of personalities that they have access to, including reserve.
I hope you do well.
Being able to
Not looking good now.
all the stuff that Jacob had in the deck, all the movement, so it made it very difficult for Chris to use his send home and other cards that might help him. Normally gets that matchup. He has a lot of movement back in tricks and anti-movement cards, so it really makes it difficult for a Dishonored player to stop him.
Right, well, I mean, Unicorn's been doing that for a year in their entire game since they were introduced. It's moving around, avoiding battles, and then being able to move back into the main battle.
What was that?
I said, now go for it.
Yeah,
So
right.
obviously they're doing the same tricks.
I mean, the way they're doing it now, I'm alright if I get in a pod. I mean, with where I'm at, I don't think I have a chance to win. I mean, maybe if I go 4-0, but easier bracket.
Attention all 5R players to stage right of the AEG banner. Christopher Hand from the story team is there waving his hand. He is there to answer any and all of your storyline questions, so if you would like to ask the story team a question, please feel free to do so.
So I'm assuming that this is going to be the participation prizes probably for the Fall Cote season.
That is possible. I'm not sure. We haven't got our exact info title prize list yet, but
We started clapping this.
And more than likely, it's I know last year they did a similar thing at Gencon. They gave out the Ivory uncommons and then they used the fall and winter tournament season for the uncommons. So I'm assuming it's probably going to be the same thing this year. But these look a lot better.
they definitely do look pretty good.
No, unfortunately, Chris did not win. It was Jacob Hampton ended up winning that. Chris had him down to negative 14, but he couldn't seal the deal. Chris ended up running out of cards, and Jacob had a full grip, and ended up. That's where it ended up. He ended up getting stuck at that point. So that victory went to Jacob Hampton.
We're going to check on to see if we got the plan breakdowns. I don't have those just yet.
People on the stream, if you know whose phone that is, type it into the text box.
Take a short break until the next round, and we'll be back.
No, it wasn't. It was here when we got.
Oh, it was here when you started?
Yeah.
Up with the crab, Yusuke Dishonor. So Chris flips a small-time bully and a Durian Cascade in.
Pass open.
Both of those are pretty important to his deck. The Cascade in more important.
Why is the whole thing is
He purchased the small-time bully, the counting house, and the Durian Cascade in.
Any others?
Yeah, the +1 goal production on Sujikin Sensei is really important. It allows you to, it's ridiculous.
Right. It's kind of odd to see a crab player having 5 gold in his first turn and a unicorn player having 4, but that's just the way it's set up currently.
Yeah, I mean, Unicorn is going to get back to 5 on this turn, but yeah, Sujikin was very, very powerful sensei. Finally took time for that strategy to grasp hold.
down to 3.
And here comes
8.
Chris pinging down. So
First round and I beat him, and then I played Lion like Swarmy last round.
So it looks like the player on the left, I recognize the voice and saw him earlier. It looks like
and dropped in circle, and he DT'd in battle and top decked the terrain.
one of the
was
Team
the only
Manatee
answer to
players
that.
from South Florida. It would be Christopher Martin on the left. Chris, obviously, as most people know, loves his Yusuke, so he enjoys playing Dishonor, and that is
Bound to happen.
exactly what he's playing this round. I'm almost certain that with
Hard by
Sujikin
getting
Sensei.
back. I wanted you to
He won a
play.
Kotai earlier this year with this deck. And then Steve Colombo has won the Bride of the Emperor tournament with the same style build.
Well, if you need to grab any cards, feel free.
A few weeks ago in Kansas City.
Should be fine until you start playing stuff with Thunderous.
Yeah, right.
But my deck didn't really change.
And Jacob Hampton
I
on
only
the
put a
right,
couple of cards
he is
in,
a
so it
resident
wasn't a whole lot
Oxford
for me
player.
I need to mean
One that was groomed by Donnie.
have, like,
and stuff. I pulled one Kazooie. I just traded for the rest. No, I traded for one and then won one in the rare set. So that's what it was just like, okay.
Attention Alpha Bar players in the main event and the draft storyline. If you do not have an opponent, please raise your hand now.
So 10's the magic number for now.
Yeah, right.
You may begin.
Good luck, sir. Come to your cabbage.
And here we go for round 3.
Okay, it's better than last game.
He got one holding flipped
Last
up.
game I had to dig out a Forgotten
He's going to cycle
Legacy with
down
no
3.
holding showing.
And he's going to
There you
flip
go. You
3
got what you
holding. So he has a total of 4. That's a
And
pretty good start.
Looks like you got a famous Bazaar, Forgotten Legacy, Temple of Destiny, and Temple of the Heavenly Crab.
Right. So interesting to see if he has a second Forgotten Legacy in his deck or not. If he has a second one, I think I would get the other out of my deck and buy the Temple of Destiny, but he opted to go ahead and just purchase one out of the province.
Yep.
He's definitely going to need a lot of holdings in this matchup because Chris can obviously control that matchup.
Here we go again. So how's your day been so far?
It's alright. Played Scorpion this on the last turn and lost because we managed to hit all 3 blocks of fall lines and all 3 encircled.
How we doing, gentlemen? Doing good?
Yeah.
So, pretty good. You guys lined up almost perfectly. No problem. You've both been on stream before, right? A few reminders. This microphone's live. It picks up your voice extremely clearly. So don't say anything you don't want people to hear. The only other thing is, while just like they can hear everything, we can hear everything you say. So if you gain honor or lose honor, and you state the amount that you ended at after the action, that would be helpful to us keep track. So, for example, I gain 3 and go to 10. That'd be perfect. I'll mark that down. Players know. Everything goes great.
Sounds good.
Any senseis from either of you?
Yes.
Not over here.
Yes, you can sensei. And a unicorn player. All right. So good luck and have fun.
Yeah, I played crab for
Obviously, before Donnie picked up and left the States, sadly,
How
he
you
now
doing,
lives
man?
in Australia.
Doing just fine.
Jacob has,
They made me
his
choose.
play has been gaining quite a bit of ground the last several years under Donnie's tutelage. And
I was surprised that they had one.
And obviously a devout unicorn player.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Jacob's a good guy too.
Somebody left their phone over here.
It's not good.
So we're 3 for 3 for seeing unicorn on stream so far. Like I said last night with Simon in the booth, I said that unicorn was going to be a popular deck choice today. They have a lot of strengths.
Yeah, we have tons
I
of
said
the
Crab
new stuff,
Dishonor
so if you
was
need
probably going to be the
anything
most
from
represented
me,
Dishonor deck in the format. This is probably what is happening here.
I need that I don't have. I just can't pull personality.
Interesting, we've seen 2 dragon decks on stream. They haven't been as
This one I'm opening
popular.
about 275 packs at 20 festivals just through